going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Reel Junkies. I am your host, Farron, here again with my man Vito, coming to you with a review of Avatar Fire and Ash, the third installment of James Cameron's epic franchise. Kind of crazy we got finally the full 3 installments now. I remember a time when the second Avatar was supposed to come out in 2015. And we just now got in like 2022, and we're just now getting the third one. So it's been a little bit of a journey to get to this point. So the first one released in like 2009. So getting from there to this has been a little bit of a journey, and James Cameron has stuck with his all these movies need to be 240 or plus in terms of runtime. I think this one is a little over 3 hours. So I would like for him to, the next one, maybe get a little more of a reasonable runtime. But here we are with our damn near 3.5, it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes long movie of Avatar Fire and Ash. And to start with a few quick takeaways, one thing this thing keeps consistent, at least from the previous 2 movies, is it's visually stunning. This movie's great to look at. It kind of trips you out a little bit when you're looking at the CGI, because pretty much everything in this movie is CGI. Every character, every set piece, there's really no room for practical effects in this. And for you to watch this while you're watching it and just come to the realization, like, everything I'm looking at was generated by a computer, makes it even more impressive that it looks as real as it does. Like, it looks very amazing and very well done and very authentic. It's about as authentic as you can get for, a place like Pandora. And I do like that the action set pieces held up. Those are the two, to me, like the main positives of this film, were the action set pieces and how great it looked. We'll get into the story and all that stuff later. But as far as those 2 key core strengths that I feel like are the calling card of what makes the Avatar franchise what it is, those 2 are knocked out the park. And one thing I implore franchises to do is stick with what made you who you are. Stick with your identity as a franchise and what drew the fans into you in the first place. And I think Avatar 3 at least delivers on that portion. Avatar 3, when you think Avatar, you think great visuals and awesome action sequences and set pieces. And this film delivered on both of those. Now, we'll get into the other aspects of this movie and whether or not they held up to the first 2, but I at least wanted to get them their props on that to start out.
Say for me, man, like the hype is worn off.
I understand.
I can 100% say that, especially after watching this movie and
Yeah.
it's 3-hour runtime. I think the other night I told you this 100% could have been a mini series on HBO or some shit like that, because it's like 3 different stories going on at the same time, man.
Shit, 3.
It's a lot. It's a
More than
lot
that.
happening
Yeah. Yes.
during this film. A lot. Um And we always talk about pacing. The pace, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. The pacing in this one was like, it was perfect at some points. Then you're like, oh, why are we focusing on this for this long?
Mhm.
What is happening right here that we need to focus on this shit that much? You got a lot of characters that come in. You're introduced to this character, and then they're gone, and you don't see them again. There's no follow up on them. Maybe we'll see them in the next one. I don't know. I can't remember if what's his name? He was in a show called Sneaky Pete on Amazon Prime. Fucking this was when Amazon first started doing TV shows. Great show. Giovanni Ribisi.
Giovanni Ribisi, yeah.
I don't remember if he was in the second one. Do you recall?
I remember his character vaguely. You talking about
But
the scientist, right?
yeah, but not
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, I don't think
So
he was a major character if he was in the previous 2, but I remember it, like, when he came on screen, I was like, I feel like that character was
yeah,
in the previous movies, but I can't remember where.
and that's the whole thing. Like, you had these characters, even the general. Like, she comes in, she came in the last one. She brought a Partridge back to life, whatever, through cloning. All it's so much crazy shit that's going on in this movie, dog. It's a lot going on. Because now I want to know what's going on back on Earth right now. Like, what's happening on Earth? Because after the first one, I'm like, okay, they're only dealing with this one tribe.
Mhm.
But then the second one come out, you're like, okay, it's numerous tribes, it's numerous people around this planet. How large is this planet? How many different tribes are there? Because every movie we get a new tribe.
Pretty much, yeah. They introducing a new one each time, and each one is, like, wildly different.
Yeah,
Like, they're, like, polar opposites.
like these motherfuckers got the water people got web hands. you know, how many different tribes are there? I mean, you don't even have to introduce these tribes, but you could have been like, yes, this tribe, this tribe, this tribe. He could have got a little something to begin with. Because why did they start with the I don't remember the tribe where Natiri's from. That's her name. Yeah, Natiri's from.
Yeah, I don't really remember her tribe's name either. I feel like a lot of them got wiped out in the first movie
But
also.
why did they start with her tribe to try and infiltrate?
Mhm. As opposed to, like, going after any of the others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say one of the things I seen somebody online say this is their last Avatar movie. They said they're sick of the white savior, and he is. I mean, when the first Avatar came out, people said this ain't shit but Pocahontas.
It's really Dances with Wolves, honestly, like,
This
when
ain't
you
shit
think
but
about it.
Pocahontas.
Like, the first
And
Avatar movie is, like, plot point for plot point Dancing Wolves, if y'all have seen that movie.
but now everyone he's the one that's doing everything.
Yeah.
Like without this nigga, they would have
It
been wiped
is.
out.
It is a little bit of that because Jake Sully, who this I do want to say, I think these Avatar movies are single handedly keeping Sam Worthington's like big budget acting career alive. Because I
100%.
yeah, I don't see him in
100%.
any other major Hollywood movies outside of this. But Jake
Oh,
Sully
before you
is
say that,
sort
'cause
he is a little bit of the white savior complex.
well,
I'll
well,
give you
be
that.
well, before you go, I pulled up some stuff earlier from him
Mhm,
and Exorcism in 2024. I don't know if that was a big one. That's more your lane, horror stuff. He was in Lift with Kevin Hart, but that was
mhm.
not big. That was on, like, Netflix or some shit.
Yeah.
Um, nope, I was trying to say no,
He
but
hasn't been. Yeah, no, he hasn't. He's been in
he's been
films,
in movies.
you know what I'm saying? Like he's not. I'm not saying he's not a working actor. He's been around, but as far as anything high profile, these Avatar films has really been it for him. As far as recently goes, like there was that time in the 2010s, right after the first Avatar came out, where Hollywood was very blatantly trying to make Sam
Of him.
Worthington a film star. Like they were trying to make him a thing,
Die
and it
Hard,
just
Terminator.
yeah, like they were just trying to throw him in anything. If it's a franchise or something that we think is going to get a lot of eyes, throw Sam Worthington in it because we're trying to make him a thing, and it didn't stick. This is really the only franchise that has stuck or gained traction. He just so happens to be the lead actor in it, so he struck gold with this one. More
Man,
power to him. I don't think Sam Worthington's a bad actor. I just noticed that like Hollywood tried so hard to push him in the 2010s, and they just kind of stopped.
will say I don't like his acting. Um, and it's probably because he plays an American and everything.
Is he British?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know
I'm
that,
like
but
90 let me be sure before I say that.
I was like, "Is Sam Worthington British?" I don't
I'm
know.
like
I
90%
legitimately
sure
ill-informed
he
on
is. Yep,
where Sam
he's
Worthington
from
he is.
Surrey, England.
Okay, well,
Um,
now we know your gripe with him. That makes
and
sense.
and like I said, so like just knowing the wanting to know more about the world of Earth just going on because all the Marines that are there, these motherfuckers are American.
Yeah.
So like, did America take over the world? Like what's happening here? Because you still have people with accents and shit. So why did this nigga have to be American?
You saying like he coulda just been British
He could have
simply
just been
because
British. He could have
I get
just
what
been
you're saying.
himself.
I get what you're saying, but his
There was no
character
need
is
to make
American.
there
I
was no need to make
promise
this
you it's
nigga American.
okay. I
It's not.
promise you it's okay.
Alright.
Of all the things we're gonna talk about in Avatar: Fire and Ash that are the reasons this movie isn't as strong as the first two, Sam Worthington's character being American ranks solo on the list.
Because this is my thing, because you have so many there's so many British actors that do American accents well.
Mhm.
And like I said, you can kinda tell when British people are pretending to be American because they speak a lot slower so they
Mhm.
don't lose their accent. That's really the biggest thing. And I think that so like I said, I don't think he's per se a bad actor. I just don't like his acting when he's American. He's not
Yeah.
good at it.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll let
And
you and
he
Sam Worthington go in the
he
corner and
talks
have y'all
he
little beef.
he talks like when he's talking, it's like almost like he's gritting his teeth. So he's like,
That I will give you. Yes. Yes. That's
what's the
definitely his acting style.
what he say? I'm just, if you would have followed orders, your brother would still be here. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The first of all, that was a fucked up thing to say, first of
Oh,
all.
then the
But
nigga
second
didn't
of all,
go after him.
but you right though. You're right. I'll give you that. That is part of his acting style in these. But it also helps that like pretty much every character, including his, is covered up by complete CGI. You're not seeing his, actual human form giving these facial expressions and dialect. Like it's literally just his voice. But I do think going back to your point about Jake Sully just as a character, yes, it is sort of that savior complex, right? He's a human who went through the program. I think in the first one, it was his
First of all, a
brother.
white
Oh,
human.
a white human, yes. Who I think in the first one, it was his brother had been a part of that Avatar program, and his brother got killed, I believe, and that
Glad you remembered
he was the next
because
best match.
I do not. I
Yeah,
don't
this
remember
is
shit.
yeah, this is like vague memories from the first one. And then he essentially, after the events of the first movie, became permanently attached to his avatar and his human body essentially died. So now he's a human still, but fully in the body of this blue Navi avatar alien. And it I do like the fact though that this movie addresses that. I do like that. That is one thing because I to your point, it is just kind of like, well, wait a minute. You mean to tell me these people live on this alien planet, have access to this nature goddess who rules over the entire planet. Their animals are completely different from anything we see on Earth, and all they have to defend themselves are bow and arrows
And
against humans who are coming to invade them.
they're very intelligent and they know how to fight with the bow and arrow already
Yes.
against
Yes.
these machines. They
Against
know how to do
machines.
it.
Yes.
And the fact that once these people came, they weren't going to other tribes already like, "Yo, these niggas trying to take over.
Yeah.
We need to band together." Like, it just doesn't even like you said, the Raiders, Partridge and his people, they didn't even know about the Raiders yet.
Yeah, no, they came out of left field for them. They were
So
not aware of that.
and that's something that you would think that they would have been fucking them up to begin with because
Yeah.
you have these new machines we see. What she say? Make me show me how to make thunder. Bro, you would think that they would know this already and they would have been blue, blue, blue doing their thing.
Yeah, that's my only thing with the Navi is like they portray them as very intelligent, but then also I obviously I get the archetype you're going for with the Navi. It's a very much Native American and colonizer archetype here. So I get why they use bow and arrows. I'm just saying practically based on the way you set these characters up, you set that they're alien characters who are supposed to be more intelligent than humans and physically stronger than humans, but their weapons are so much more primitive than anything humans have. That feels a little off to me, just in terms of my believability. Like I get it, it's an alien world with giant blue people, but if you're gonna set up rules in a certain universe, make the believable rules. And I have a hard time believing that a species this advanced with this type of wildlife and this type of culture on their planet would then go, all right, all we have is bow and arrows to defend ourselves. And they do try to address that in this movie by saying Navi don't touch metal weapons. Okay, to make some AWA weapons, you do
No, no,
something.
no.
Bow and
Only
arrows can't be
certain
your only way of defending
certain
yourself.
tribes don't touch metal weapons.
Well, the Ash, based on what we've seen so far, because there could
Well,
be plenty of other tribes out there. Based on what
no.
we know, the
So
Ash people are the outlier
no,
of the
not them,
Navi.
because some of Jake Sully's tribe, they carry guns. But Natiri, the new one that they were
Natiri
Natiri,
tribe doesn't use
her
guns.
tribe don't really she don't
Yeah,
fuck with it because that's the old
yeah,
way. We don't touch steel. But
yeah,
it's still other people that do.
yeah.
Um,
I do like that there's a lot of key questions regarding just the Navi, their culture, and then Jake's relationship with it that they address in this movie. And they address it not only with just Jake, but also with Spider, who, if you remember, the second one was the young human boy who's just kind of tagging along with them and kind of becomes part of the family, uh, for lack of a better word.
hey, why this nigga got dreads?
I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of wondering why this little white dude got dreadlocks,
Why this nigga
but
got locks, bro?
I was just like, you know what? He is around he is around alien people who do wear locks. So like it's not totally unimaginable that he wants to be as much as like them as he
A
possibly
lot of
can.
them just
So
got long hair too, though.
yeah, that is also true.
That nigga could have just left his hair down. So this my question.
He's
This my
saying why
question
specifically locks. No, I had the same
because
question.
this the question I was gonna ask to begin with. We're only focusing on a certain region
Hmm.
of what's the name of the planet? Pandora, right?
Pandora,
Certain region of Pandora. Who's to say that it's not a more intelligent or more advanced tribes of uh
the Navi.
the Navi around? Because even when you look at our planet, you have hidden tribes that
Hmm.
they still use bow and arrows and shit like that. They've not been contacted by the rest of civilization. So who's to say that on the other side of the planet, because I think Navi or Pandora is a lot larger than Earth. Who's
Yeah,
to say that they didn't land on a perfect part of this planet? And once the, the more advanced civilization find out that these niggas is there, shit
it could
shit
get
gonna get
bad.
turned up.
That's not a bad point, and it's hard to say there aren't just because there's so many Na'vi tribes as we've seen just through the second and third films, and I'm sure there's plenty that we haven't been introduced to yet. So very much possible based on what I'm only gonna go based off what we know about the Na'vi though, just based on what's been introduced to us. And so far, their weapon choices are for the most part primitive because as some of them use guns, because I'm starting to remember some of the scenes you're referring to, but they had to be introduced to these weapons by Jake. Like these weapons, any sort of metal weapons or weapons that are capable of doing mass damage are not native to Pandora or the Navi at all. They're if they had never interacted with humans and never met Jake Sully, they'd still be bow and arrow exclusives. So that's my thing is like I for a species that advanced, everything about them is advanced, but their ability to defend themselves feels a little off to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the part to me that makes it a little less believable. But there was one point I did want to make though, just about Jake, Natiri, and Spider, and then the dynamic that creates within their family. Because that's really a key, I think, theme in this film is they focus on the importance of family a lot. It was important in the second one as well, but this one it feels like that's the central theme across the board. Whether you're talking about Jake and his family, whether you're talking about Quirtart, whatever however you say Stephen Lane character's name, Quartich, where however the fuck you say his man's name, his relationship with
The
his
Colonel.
son, the Colonel. I'm gonna just start calling him the fucking Colonel. There you go. Or even just the Ash people, you know what I'm saying? Like and I want to try to attempt to pronounce her name, Varang, and her relationship with her people and defending her people and her what's the word, her gripe against Awa and the reasoning she gives behind it. A lot of the storylines in this film go back to family in some way, shape, or form. So I really liked how this movie sat down and took the time, which in a 3-hour movie I would hope you would sit down and take the time to address the fact
This is like
that
3 different movies.
yeah, there's literally like 5 different movies happening at once in
So
this,
much going on.
which is what we're gonna get to that at one
If
point
you've
because
seen this
it's
movie,
hard.
you know it's a lot going
It's
on.
hard to follow at points, especially if you're like not easily recalling events from the previous movies in real time. It can be hard to follow. But I do like that this film took the time to address that with Jake and Natiri because Natiri, rightfully so, has some very strong emotions towards humans. She does not like them in any way, shape, or form. And I get it, right? Humans came to your planet uninvited, wiped out your entire family, destroyed your wildlife, attempted to invade and colonize and destabilize your planet and your community. So
From dating and marrying and
yeah,
with
and I forgot there was a whole other dude she was supposed to be married to before she met Jake. So they have derailed her entire life. Humans have come and derailed her entire life from start to finish. So her disdain for humanity is understandable on why this character feels that way. But there's like this little bit of an internal conflict because well, the man you decided to marry, even though he may physically have the body of a Navi, he is human. You have
and they do
children.
reference that at a point in
Yeah,
this movie.
you have children who share half his DNA, so your children are in part human. And also, y'all carry this little dreadlocked white boy around with you everywhere you go. Now,
So
granted, she shows that she hates him also, but I love that they have that dialogue between Jake and Natiri where he goes, "You need to let this go." Because while I understand why you may feel the way you do about humans, you have to understand your family is in part human. I am
also
human.
still you need to let this shit go.
You need to let
Even
this
though
shit go.
we fucked up your entire life. Like it's really
Yeah.
crazy to say.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Jesus baby though.
That's what we calling him? That is a white man. I'm not calling him no
No, no,
Jesus
no.
baby.
Kiri.
Kiri. Oh, that Jesus baby. Okay.
What the so I was so confused
I thought you
about
were
what
referring
happened there.
to what happens with Spider and how he changes. That's why I thought you were
So,
referring
you
to.
know what's crazy? There is a scene which after they escape the camp where Jake takes him along, and I'm like, this is out the Bible, dog.
Uh-huh.
Where he takes him to the rock and he's
Yes.
like that is definitely a Bible moment. And we can get back to because it's still on a family part, but how he automatically like now he's ready to make this switch. That kind of pissed me off.
Yeah,
That pissed me off. And then for her to be like, "Oh, well, he saved you." Well, he saved a lot of people before that, and you still didn't change your feelings.
that is true.
But yeah, let's talk about this Jesus baby. What I did not understand what I know they said
Sigourney, I think it's
she
like
was
Sigourney Weaver's
yeah,
character, right?
she was
So yeah.
she said she was a clone, but then she said she was pregnant, and I was so confused. I was so
So
confused.
I was trying to remember it when they gave the little recap, which I'm actually glad this movie did that a lot. Like they will bring up something and then immediately give you like a slight recap from the previous movies of what happened. I needed that at some parts, otherwise I would not be able to follow this as well. But essentially, if you remember in the first movie, Sigourney Weaver's character was human. She, similar to Jake, had a blue avatar body that she would go into and that she just immediately became attached to. And I can't remember exactly how it happened, but there was a ritual they did with Sigourney Weaver's character using Awa, she's like the goddess of Pandora that ruled all over Pandora. And somehow another Navi was cloned from Sigourney Weaver, and that is Kiri, who Jake has essentially adopted as his fourth child. Um, so that's about as much about her as I can remember as far as her overall backstory. But because of this cloning process that in this ritual they did, Kiri holds a very special connection to Awa and can, I guess for lack of a better word, draw power from her and do certain things that other Navi are not capable of doing. And slight spoiler, I don't know if this is in the trailer. Well, actually, no, this a scene that references this is in the trailer, so I ain't gonna consider it a full-blown spoiler. But as you all know, humans can't breathe on Pandora. They can't breathe the air, it's poisonous to them. That's why they all have to wear those masks you see. So obviously, Spider, trying to be a human surviving on Pandora, has to wear his mask at all times. These masks have oxygen batteries that run out eventually, so he's constantly having to replace them. And that's a little bit of a difficult issue to worry about if you're a human trying to survive full time in the outdoors of Pandora. That's a hard thing to manage. So there's a point in this film where Spider, his oxygen battery keeps running out, and Jake even references this like, hey, we're gonna have to send him back to where other humans are. He can't live here like fully. He's gonna die if he keeps trying to live here amongst us.
And this is our introduction to the Ash people.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
also this fucking caravan, this traveling salespeople. What the
Yeah.
fuck, like dog? And then
That came out of nowhere. That
and
came out of nowhere.
and this is what I mean. Where what's going on the rest of the world? Because this caravan knows about the other side, and they say we're traveling salesmen. The thing we need to do is to we don't take sides in this war.
Mhm.
So that means that the I'm gonna just call it the U.S. government because that's who seems to be in charge of the fucking earth at this point. The
Of course,
government,
come on now. This is an American-made movie. Of course, we're gonna
USA,
tell this right.
USA.
Of course, we're gonna tell the story from the perspective that we're the
So
only country on Earth.
that means that they have some type of agreement that they're not going to bother these traders.
Yes,
But again, this is our first time being introduced to these people. But I say all that to say to get back to it, that was our first introduction to the
to the
Ash.
Ash people. Yes, and then we get to and I want to actually get into the Ash people at one point. 'Cause they're actually pretty intriguing part of
They're
this
pretty
movie.
dope, and
Yeah, I fuck with them.
I do wish that they were just simple bandits.
Yeah, but I kind of like the way they were used.
I
Honestly.
like it, but
Y-
like there gotta be other raiders that just like, nah, I want what you have, nigga.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'm not taking no sides. I'm
yeah,
trying to steal
it
from
ain't
everybody.
like it ain't like they
Yeah.
got beef with AWOF or everything. They just want what you have.
Well, one of them do. But the part with Spider that this really creates like kind of the central conflict, even though there's, like you said, a million stories going on in this movie. This is to me like the central one is Kiri in an attempt to try to save Spider. They're running from the Ash people. They're trying to escape from the Ash people. Kiri and the other, I'm gonna call them the children of Jake and Natiri because I can't remember all their names. And Spider is running low on his oxygen battery. It's getting to the point where like he needs another mask now or he's not gonna make it. Yeah. So Kiri does a ritual through Awa that changes like his molecular structure, at least that's how they described it in the movie, and essentially allows it for where he can breathe on Pandora with no mask.
And she doesn't understand what she's doing. She
Yeah,
just
she
knows that
doesn't.
she said it felt right.
Yeah, Kiri's just doing shit, which kind of tells you how powerful she is. She's just doing shit and creating like entirely separate species of people. A human that can breathe on Pandora should not exist.
You know
And
what?
she just did it on accident.
I called her Jesus, but it's probably better to call her the Navi Anakin Skywalker.
That A Navi Anakin. No, well, hopefully she don't turn evil, but a Navi Anakin seems a little bit more accurate. She's the
Listen, the
chosen
way
one.
that
She is the
the
chosen
way
one.
the way at the end where she said, "Kill all the sky people," I was like, "Hey,
Hey,
yo,
yo.
like that shit, hey."
The Navi Neo. That's what I'm gonna call her, the
Like,
Navi Neo. There you
she
go.
she she kinda went crazy. Like, it's it's just it's so much going on, like, honestly, I don't think this review honestly, we could spoil a bunch of shit, and it still would not spoil the movie,
Really? No,
which is
seriously.
how much was going on in this movie and how long I think it being that long really pissed me off, not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I think we've given this movie enough props.
Yeah, let's talk my
Yeah,
favorite part,
this nigga feeds off negativity.
yeah.
But yeah, aside from the amazing visuals and great action set pieces and really good performances, and I did like the introduction of the Ash people. I thought they were really dope. Vrang, who plays like, or I'm sorry, Vrang is the name of the character of like the main Ash woman who you see in the trailers a lot. I'm not familiar. I'm familiar with the actress that plays her, but I can't pronounce her name. For those of you who know her, just think Red Wedding from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is that her? It sure
Pregnant
is.
lady, Red Wedding, Game of Thrones. It's that actress that plays her. I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Una
Um,
yeah, I don't know if it's Una or Oana.
yeah, like I don't want to butcher it, but if y'all seen Game of Thrones, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. And she does a phenomenal job. Actually, she was one of my favorite characters in this. Um,
We forgot to do something.
she was
Shout out to
definitely one
our
of my favorite characters in
shout
this.
out to our black queen, CCH Pounder.
Is she the only one in this?
I mean, you got, Zoe Saldana, but she
I
ain't
was about to say, like, I feel like Zoe Saldana should get the Black Queen shout out for this personally. Like, if we're gonna be honest, I would give it to Zoe Saldana. We're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
uh, so I know black, I Dominican, so this is Zoe Saldana.
Her skin look brown to me, nigga. Shit, it's close enough. She can say she Dominican all she want. I'm
Uh,
telling you what I see. That's actually, is that the first time we disagreed on the Black Queen shout out? I think it is.
I mean, it's really hard to disagree because
Usually, there's only is
it's
one
usually only
universal
one
person.
or yeah,
Yeah,
or it's like the main character, so
yeah, it's like there's either only one or two in the movie, or if it's a mostly black film, that's usually the main character who has the most screen time anyway. So fair enough. In this case,
so
it's some variety.
I don't even know who CCH Pounder is.
I don't either.
This
That's why I'm not
fucking
giving
movie,
her the
bro.
shout out.
I have no clue what
Yeah,
Moat was that? Oh, that's her mama,
that's who's mama.
Natiri's, I think. I think that's Natiri's mama.
I don't remember. I'm gonna be so real with you. But yeah, I guess there you go. There you have it. See, shout out CH Founder, shout out Zoe Saldana. We can give them both. We can have Black Queen shout outs on this one. You know, it's enough to go around. Like I said, come on, bro. Try to be
I mean,
positive.
so let me put it like this, man. I don't know how much she embraces her blackness. So I ain't gonna really shit on her for that.
Yeah,
But she definitely loves that Latino side.
fair enough. But there's a black side in there, which is good enough for me. Um, but getting back to the actual critiques of Avatar Fire and Ash, we talked about the pacing earlier. I think the pacing made this movie a lot weaker than the first two. There's a lot of storylines happening at once, and not all of them are interesting, and not all of them I think deserves the amount of screen time they got, which really it causes this movie to kind of come to a halt at some points. There'll be points where it'll be an action sequence that just went down that was over the top, very exciting, and then there'll be points where the movie will just kind of screech to a halt and will pivot to a story that I'm maybe not as interested in or don't care about as much. And it'll sit there and spend time with that story. So now I'm kind of taken out of the movie for the periods where it does that. And it felt like a jarring experience to kind of go back and forth through all these different storylines at almost the same time, some of whom I have interest and emotional stake in, and others I couldn't care less about. And that was just a weird viewing experience. And for you to stretch that experience over 3 hours was a lot. That was
Part
a lot.
where so I love that you just said that there's multiple storylines going on at the same time, and then they kind of converge at certain parts. The one part that particularly did that I kind of hated and liked at the same time was the escape of Jake Sully.
Yes.
You had Natiri doing her thing, you had Spider doing his thing, you had the marine biologist, don't remember his fucking name, don't remember seeing him throughout this movie. I'm pretty sure he was in the last one, but I do not recall. All these things are happening at the same time, and then they're like, "Oh, well," like, Jake knew Spider was there, and he was just gonna leave. So I thought that was funny as shit. I'm like, and it came to Spider to having to save Jake again. But even during that scene, it's so much going on. Like it's a some of it was a good action sequence, but then like, okay, it's so much going on. I'm really not that interested in this anymore,
Mhm.
and I want it to end.
Yeah.
So I don't think that happens often, but it does happen there. I think one of my gripes is kind of the dialogue, man.
I
The
was gonna get to that
dialogue
as well. Yes. Yes.
dialogue was not strong at all. It was very weak. It was
Yeah.
weak in most of the movie. I think one scene after Kiri finds out that she's the Navi Anakin Skywalker, Jake goes, I'm the only father that you'd ever need." I was like, "Where the fuck did that come from?"
You know,
Because
there was some dialogue that was so
I would
cringeworthy in
see
this.
if she actually had another dad. Like, that's
Yeah.
probably what he should have said to Spider.
Mhm.
It didn't make any sense for him to say it to her
Yeah.
at all.
Spider has some of the most cringeworthy dialogues, I think, in the
I s
film. What did he
I
call
seen some
somebody a
people saying that
butthole at
too.
one point? I was like, "Is this fucking Nickelodeon? Like, what are we doing, y'all?"
It's
Like,
so
there
weird.
Yeah, it was some very odd dialogue choices, which I don't it's kinda crazy I'm saying that about a James Cameron movie, but I was very surprised walking out of the movie that that was a critique I had. Like, the dialogue was kinda weak at points, and I don't any problems I was expecting out of this movie, that wasn't one of them. The runtime and the pacing, when I saw that, I was like, "That's a reasonable issue for a 3-hour movie to have. You probably should have made this shorter. There's some scenes that coulda got cut out of here."
Think
But
the
when the
strongest
dialogue wasn't hitting, I
Yeah.
was genuinely shocked by
I
that.
think the strongest dialogue came from not the main characters.
Yeah.
Like, I'll say the initial scene where Partridge meets with the Ash
Yeah,
people.
I'm about to say the Ash people, the
That
Varang
shit
had the strongest
Hey,
dialogue in the whole movie.
when he was walking and the dude, like, poked the signal, he like, "I'm keeping my eye on you." He's like, "I'm watching you."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
not gonna lie, it was kinda cringy just how kinda goofy he was at that moment,
Mhm.
being who he is, and then when he's like, him, and he shot
Yeah.
him, I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he ain't fucking
He ain't
around."
he ain't playing.
So, even the best dialogue some of the best dialogues in this movie, like, it's either followed by or, I can't remember the word I'm trying to think of, what happens before. It happens before it where it's kinda cringy.
Yeah.
Like, you might have and sometimes it's sandwiched between cringy lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like you said, a 3.5. I don't think this. I think the runtime on IMDb said 3 hours and 17 minutes.
That's like, yeah, it's over halfway towards 3.5 hours.
I
Yes.
I get it if some of the dialogue is terrible, but to me, most of the dialogue is terrible.
It was persistent throughout the whole movie. Like, that's why I'm like, I'm with you. 3 hours, it's gonna be some things we can nitpick at. But that dialogue was something I noticed was an issue from the start of the movie, and it kept becoming an issue throughout. That along with the pacing. I think those are really the main things that to me make this the weakest of the Avatar movies so far. But it's also a testament to how good I think the first two are. I think the first two are incredible. So this one being the weakest one, it's gonna sound like a diss, but it's really not a diss because it's almost like saying it's like saying Captain America, the first one, is the weakest of the three. It's not a bad movie, it's just the other two are so good that this one is naturally the weakest because it doesn't hold up to those other two. That's kind of how I feel about Avatar Fire and Ash.
Nah, I think this is legit. I don't wanna say it's a bad movie, but
Yeah,
it's not a great movie. I
I
think
don't
it's
think it's great either. I
I
think
think it's
it's
I wouldn't even say it's a good movie. It's okay.
it's okay.
It's
I think
very
it's a
o it's a
little better than
it's a
okay.
very okay, but it's not good. You see that?
Yeah, it's above
So
average.
I would say
It's
if
above average. That's
it's above
like,
so
yeah,
again, it's above average because of, like, it has a beautiful set piece.
awesome. It's
It does
awesome to look
have
at.
some great action scenes. One of the last action scenes in this movie was fucking amazing between that final showdown.
Hmm.
One of my questions I was asking, why the fuck is the general here?
Yeah,
What sense did that make for her to be there?
yeah.
Yeah, it was for for me, this is a very okay movie. I would watch the Imma have to watch the first one again because I
Yeah.
do not remember it at all,
I did
at
a
all.
little recap of the second one before seeing this, but the first one, it's been a long time since I've seen, so I do need to go back and revisit that at some point. Um, I will say this movie left me going like, okay. we're through 3 of these now. I'm not looking forward to the 4th one, but I'm less excited for the 4th one now after watching this. Like, this one kinda made me feel like, do we need 2 more of these?"
Like, usually we'd be like, "Damn, I kinda wanted more." Now you're like,
Yeah. No, after the 2nd one, I was like, "Ooh, I know 3 about to hit. I can't wait." And after this one, I'm like,
did not hit like
"Do
it
we
should."
need 2 more?" 'Cause they're planning a 4 and 5. And I really left this theater going, "Do we really need 2 more of these?" And I'm not sure the answer to that is yes quite yet.
But like I said, so with The Mandalorian, they took the last season and turned it into a movie.
Mhm.
They need to turn these last 2 movies
To turn
into
to a TV show.
into 3, 4 seasons of a TV show. Because like I
Yeah,
said, this one alone, like I said, it's so much going on. It is so much going on. And it's
yeah,
fucking 3 hours long. It's 3 hours long. So,
yeah.
and depending on what theater you go to, a start time of 5:30. Sometimes movies start exactly at 5:30, depending on theater.
Mhm.
Sometimes, nigga, that's when you get your trailers, and you
Yeah.
got fucking 20 minutes of trailers.
So now that bitch ain't really starting until like 5:50.
5:50, 6 o'clock,
6 o'clock. Yep. And
and
now
that's
it's
a
a
3 hour
3-hour
movie. Nah,
movie.
it's fucking.
Yep.
I think the movie I went to go see, I think it started at. I think mine started at 6:30.
Mhm.
First of all, I didn't want to go to this theater, but and I will say this: these Avatar movies, people are still packing out these theaters.
Yeah.
They are still packing out these theaters, and this is what 3 weeks later. I
Mhm.
went to go see it Thursday, Christmas Day. I seen it Christmas Day. It was still packed out. Now, maybe the fact that it was Christmas Day is one of the reasons it's packed out. I know that's a big day for people to go to the movies, but
Yeah, facts.
I didn't get my usual seat. I had to sit next to a bunch of fucking people, which I don't do that.
Yeah.
And it was packed out. But just for me, like just as an avid moviegoer, man, like I think if this was something that if I wasn't somebody that goes to the movies a lot, this probably would have been fine. I think this
Yeah.
movie would have been fire because, like, okay, it is a lot going on. You know,
Mhm.
it's a 3 hour movie. I don't get to do this often, but
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
too fucking long, man. It's too much
Honestly,
going
even
on. The
as
dialogue's terrible.
yeah, even talking to casual moviegoers though, like the one because I am self-aware enough to acknowledge I've seen too many movies. So my viewpoint when watching films is gonna be a little skewed from just what the average film goers would be. So I always try to like keep myself level by asking people who aren't film nerds, like trying to get their general thoughts on certain things. And a main critique of this I heard was it's too long. Like I feel like being a casual moviegoer, like a 3-hour movie kind of puts the film at a disadvantage for the audience. Cause like if I'm a casual moviegoer, I don't care how good the movie is. I hear 3 hours. I'm like 3 hours.
It's
You know what
hard for
I'm
me to
saying?
sit down, like, especially if you
Yeah.
got shit going on. It's hard for you to sit down for 3 hours and just do this.
Yes. Yes. You
And
know what
like
I'm
we
saying?
said, it might be longer than 3 hours depending on the theater.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's something I think if we are indeed getting 2 more Avatar films, I think James Cameron really needs to think long and hard, and who am I to tell James Cameron how to direct a movie? I get it. Like, who the fuck am I to tell James Cameron how he should and shouldn't direct a movie? I get that. I'm just saying from an audience standpoint, watching this film, I can tell you this did need to be 3 hours. There was definitely things that could have been cut out of this to make it a little bit tighter and cleaner, and I think if you're going to go with a similar format for the next movie, which all these Avatar films have followed a similar format at this point. If you're gonna follow a similar format in the 4th one, I don't think it will be the worst thing in the world to just try to create a film that's a little tighter and a little more concise. Because I think a 4th 3-hour movie is gonna be a little OD. Just my opinion.
So, and part of that, like you said, it follows the same format. I'm about to take this bitch for a spin. Like I said, the reason the old girl says she's done watching these Avatar movies because this is what happens. He and his family is chilling.
Mhm.
Sully and his family feels like, hey, we need to go somewhere else because it's getting unsafe here. Sully and his family encounters another tribe.
Yeah.
Partridge comes out of fucking nowhere and is hunting them again. Sully and his family get away from Partridge. They get somewhere safe. Partridge and his people start terrorizing Navi tribes across the little region that they're in. Sully decides, hey, I'm gonna save y'all again. Me. What was John Smith? Uh,
John Smith. What was
all right, John Smith will save y'all. Uh,
now, which Avatar movie did you just describe? The answer is all of them. Literally, you just described all of them.
and then I'm gonna get y'all together. I'm gonna lead y'all because the way that
I ain't gonna lie, you got it. You're making a very good
This
point right now.
nigga was able to take control of I don't know what the flying things are called, I forget what they are, but he was able to take control or
Oh, the winged, the whatever that thing is.
big one.
Yes,
He was able to
yes.
bond with the one that nobody can bond with.
Hmm.
Just this nigga. Because part of
Who's
my
human,
thing
by the way.
who's human, by the way, part of my thing was like, I don't think they should have been able to bond with the creatures that easily either.
Yeah.
It should have been a lot harder. So like I said, that's my biggest gripe with it. I really hope in one of these next two movies that the Navi kind of take control over and they lead the fight.
Hmm.
Because honestly, watching this white man, watching this human lead this fight is
I
kind
feel like
of
the first part is the one you got the most problem with, personally.
nah, it's equal. But like honestly, because honestly, how many brothers did you see in this movie?
I mean, considering the vast majority of the people in this movie aren't human, it's kind of
But when
hard
you
to
do see
say.
the humans,
When you do see humans, no, there's
all of them
not
are
a lot
white.
of. It's not a lot of color when you do see the humans in this movie. To your
So
point,
again,
not a lot of color.
what's going on Earth? Did they get rid of all the niggas?
No, I can tell you what happened. They said, "Hey, y'all, we about to go to another planet to
Oh no.
colonize them," and all the black folks went, "Shit, y'all go ahead." That's what happened.
so
That's what happened.
so and you know what? You know, I'll tell James Cameron how to direct the movie because you know who we are? Fucking real junkies, okay? Maybe he should listen. Because it's a
Yeah, yeah.
long ass movie. The
James Cameron
dialogue
should
was
listen to the Real Junkies on how
he
to direct a
should.
movie. Yes.
Long ass movie. Dialogue was weak. It was too much going on. I'm sure we're not the first people to say this shit.
No, yeah,
We
all
not
those critiques, yes.
we
I'm
not
sure
gonna
we
be the
are the
last.
first people who have said James Cameron should listen to us on how to direct a movie.
See, that's your problem. You think it too small. You
You're
think it too
right. You're
small of
right. You're
yourself,
right.
bro.
You're right. You're right. You're right. That's on me. We need to have more delusional confidence. So you're
No,
correct.
this is
You're
100%
correct.
confidence. Just because he's a master of his craft, allegedly. Okay.
Allegedly.
Uh,
Every movie the nigga touches makes $1 billion, but
it, it it
allegedly.
it doesn't mean that he's always right.
You're
And
right. It does not mean he's always right. You are correct. I will that now
so
that I will give you.
So again, telling the nigga, hey, make this shit a little shorter. Don't fucking put too many fucking storylines in this. And I'm wondering, does he already? I think they said he already has the whole thing, the storyline already out.
Yeah, they just need to film at this
They
point.
just
But
need
I
to film
think
it.
at least the concepts of the script, or at least some rough drafts of the script for 4 and 5, have already been written.
So like I say, I don't know if he's like adding shit between, not like once he starts filming, they're like, okay, let's add this, let's do this, let's do this.
Yeah,
But slow down, take a breather because this is just not a movie I want to see again. It's not.
that's fair. Give us your rating now for Avatar: Fire and Ash. Now that you just kicked this movie's back in for the
With that being
last
said,
15 minutes,
I am going to give it a 7. And I feel like honestly, I want to give it a 6, but I feel like a 6 is really too low.
that's kind of low for this,
Yeah.
in my
Like I
opinion.
said, it's a mostly good story. The dialogue is terrible throughout most of the movie. It's
Yeah,
very bad. Give it a 6.5. I like I
shit.
just like that
All right,
7
hey,
feels too high.
at least we have different ratings now, so I'm not because I am giving it a 7, but
Okay.
a 6.5, shit.
I have to. I just like I can't think like especially after naming off all those stuff, the multiple storylines. Like you said, like there's like 3 main stories, but
Mhm.
you are 100% right when you say it's like 5 stories going on because it is.
Yeah. It's like 3 main stories and then, like, a bunch of side missions amongst the 3 main stories.
The main leader, Varane, she just
Yeah,
up and left.
yeah.
Are we gonna see her again? What happened with that? Partridge, this nigga, I ain't gonna say what happened, but this nigga, hey yo, are we gonna see another clone of Partridge?
I think we've seen enough of him,
If
personally. I
if
think.
if Earth has the capabilities of cloning to the extent that they do, why the fuck are we somewhere else trying to why are we this far from home trying to colonize?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure
And colonizing a hostile planet too. Like, even if you do colonize Pandora, there's so
motherfuckers
many
live here
things.
already.
There's people live here already, and B, there's so many things here that are dangerous to humans. Like,
Everything tries to kill you.
everything here is dangerous to humans. There's no way this should be the
So
planet y'all should try to
there
colonize.
is a there's a Avatar game. Okay.
Yes.
And I bought it, stopped playing it because it was not fun to me. But anyway, they made some updates. I'm gonna go back and check it out again. But everything in that fucking game, just like this movie, is trying to kill you. Everything. And it's not just trying to kill humans. It's
Trying to
trying
kill
to
the
kill the
Navi.
Navi. It's trying to kill the animals. It's trying
Hmm.
to kill every fucking thing. It does not matter. So why would you want to be here?
Yeah, yeah, that's one part, and it's like the humans keep trying to colonize it and keep failing, and it's like
They keep
y'all keep trying and failing to colonize this very hostile planet that clearly doesn't want humans here, and even outside of the native people that already live here, the wildlife and the nature around the entire planet is dangerous to humans. Why would you want to stay here?
hard. Listen, what black parents say: hard head make a soft
Soft
ass.
at bro, yeah, y'all
Soft
gonna
as
keep
fuck
getting y'all ass
because
whooped. Y'all keep fucking with these blue people.
why are fleets of your vehicles being destroyed by niggas with bows and arrows?
You know that's really the main thing
Go
right
home.
there.
Y'all suck.
Yeah, that's really the main thing right there. Like y'all have some of the most high powered weaponry and artillery that you could possibly bring, and y'all are getting taken out by bow and arrows and sea dolphins or or alien whales. And that's what's taking y'all out. It's a sad sight, but I'm gonna stick with my 7 rating. I agree with you. The dialogue in this is very questionable at times. The pacing is not the best, and the stories are all not all over the place, but varying in terms of interest and how much I, as an audience member, engaged with them. It was some parts of this film where I was 100% engaged and 100% bought in and wanted to see what was happening next. And then there were points where it's like, I don't care about what's happening on screen right now. And I'm over here checking my phone, like, damn, it's how late is it? This movie's been how long? And once you start thinking about that in 3 hour movies, that's
I
when those
was
type of films start to
definitely
lose you.
I think I checked
Yes.
my phone before I made an hour in.
Yeah.
Like they said, because of the pace. I
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, it's only this time? I
Yes.
know Imma be leaving out at 9. It's
Yeah.
only 6."
Yeah, like it's this movie definitely takes you out of it at some point and drags at certain points. But I think the core parts of what made the first 2 Avatar movies good are still present in this movie. There's just a lot more flaws that I think the other 2 Avatar films didn't have as present. And that's, the visuals are incredible. This movie's awesome to look at. James Cameron, I feel like, is pretty much always going to deliver on that note, especially when it comes to these films. The action scenes are incredible, especially the scenes with the Ash people. I think pretty much every action scene that had the Ash people involved was top tier, and I enjoyed every second that group was on screen. And then also, I liked how the Ash people were introduced and how different their culture was from the other Na'vi on Pandora. And I like the fact that they didn't just introduce them. And to your point, I know you said you would like for them to be bandits, but I like that they weren't just bandits. Like I like that their leader had a reason for why she was so cold-hearted and so
Yeah.
angry, and I'm glad that they fleshed that out so she wasn't just some one-note villain who's just, I just wanna watch the world burn because, like, no, they actually gave her a pretty, like, emotional backstory on why
I think
she
she was
has a
still a
prop
I think she was
I
still
mean,
a no feeling, but
yeah, I mean, yeah,
she
they
I
didn't
won't say that.
dive deep into,
Yeah.
like, her, but they gave her a backstory and a reason as to why she behaves the way she
You
does,
know
you
what
know
I
what I'm
don't
saying?
remember seeing? I don't remember seeing other women.
You talking
You
about
know
like
what? No, I
outside of
do.
Nateri and Varang? I'm about to
In
say
the
there were
Ash
several.
tribe, but, no,
Oh,
I
and the
remember
Ash?
I remember now. It's not a lot. It's way
Yeah,
more
okay.
me in there.
As far as the Ash people, it's mostly men,
I would
mostly.
what I like I said, I
Yeah.
will say, I just think there should be other, like, legit bandits in this fucking thing.
I'm sure there
But
are.
I don't think the Ash tribe is the only group of
Yeah.
bandits in
Mhm.
here. But like I said, her reasoning is very solid.
Mhm.
The reason that they're called the Ash make 100% makes sense.
Mhm.
I just like everything ain't all peaceful and roses on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, just finding this shit out one by one is kind of annoying to me, especially because the government's supposed to have all this technology. They found an Ash tribe
Yeah.
immediately after finding out who they were.
They had no
So
clue who they were before the entire time they've been on this planet. No, that's fair.
right. So, they got all this technology and it's gotta be other we'll see, man. I'm gonna go see the next one. I am.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably am too, as much as I'm over here talking shit about how we don't need it, but I am just my excitement level, 'cause I remember when I first saw the trailer for this, I was pumped.
Yeah, I was.
Because the second one was so good. I was pumped. And then going into the 4 now, I'm kinda like, "Alright, let's see." Like, I ain't gonna lie, I genuinely kind of walked out of my theater after watching this a little disappointed. And I can't, it's weird to say that from a movie I liked. Like, I liked the movie, but I walked out of the theater disappointed. A, because the Doomsday trailer didn't do what it was supposed to do. And then this movie was lower in terms of quality than what I was expecting it to be, because my expectations were up here.
Back up
So
a bit though. This fucking 12-month timer. Man, get this shit out my fucking face,
I'll
dog.
go on another rant, Vito, and I don't
Get
want
this
to do
shit out my
that.
fucking face, dog.
they
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 pissed me off.
yeah,
And it
y'all could
like
have kept that teaser.
that
Y'all could have
teaser
really
was
kept
so
that teaser.
ass, dog.
Y'all could have kept that
That was
teaser.
so ass.
We did not need that. We didn't need that at all. And anybody who bought a ticket to see Avatar just for that teaser, I'm so sorry you wasted your money. I mean, you
Think
saw a
that's
pretty decent movie, so you didn't really waste it. But if it was for that teaser, that part didn't deliver. And I'm so
no, if
sorry.
they bought a ticket just to see the trailer, they did not see a decent movie. Because they were not going to go watch that movie at all.
You know what? You're right. You 100% right. And then you
And
had to sit through 3 hours of a movie you really wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. That's fair
on
enough.
top of that,
Oh, fair enough.
the trailer already online.
Yeah. At this point, which is
I, s-
where y'all should go watch it. Don't
I
go to a
seen
theater
it.
to see this
I
teaser.
seen it on a Marvel page.
Yeah. No, it's out. It's out now.
Yeah,
But they're
I seen.
dropping like different versions of the
Yeah, it's
teaser.
supposed.
So that, yeah.
They said every week, but I don't think it's every week because the movie's already been out 3 weeks and that trailer was still in the one Steve Rogers.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they end up doing.
Oh man, fuck them.
We'll see
Yeah,
what they end up
that
doing.
shit was man. That pissed me off. That pissed me
Yeah.
off.
Nah, same.
So
Yeah, same.
I'm thinking, like I said, I seen the trailer online. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's gonna be either more when I go to the theater, or it's gonna be something different. No, it's exactly this. It's exactly nothing happening.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers putting his fucking suit up. I don't remember was Iron Man at the door or was
Him
the
holding the
tech.
baby.
Yeah, like man, get this shit out my face, bro.
Yeah, it was not necessary. Yeah, that's just a small sidebar, but that whole trailer wasn't necessary. But as far as Avatar Fire and Ash, let us know what you all thought about this third installment. Do you think it holds up to the second two? Me personally, not really. But how do you all feel now that we have a 3-film sample size of the Avatar franchise? How do y'all feel about the franchise as a whole, including this film specifically? Always continue to like, comment, subscribe. We do appreciate all the support. And until next time, this is the Real Junkies. Peace.